Hello, everyone.
And welcome back. My name's Melissa. I've lost 60 pounds with the help of Zipbound.
Let's talk about something real today. If you grew up in the 90s, you know that at that time, everything was about being skinny. Skinny was the goal. TV, magazines, pop culture, everything just screamed skinny. We believed that our bodies were supposed to be super tiny. If you look back at the models at the time, everybody was very, very thin. And that was the one thing I wanted the most. I obviously didn't get it, but thank God we are in a different era. Now my hips, my curves are finally accepted. Actually, they are celebrated. Thicker muscle, big bottoms, thick legs, that's in. And that has changed everything in the fitness and workout world, where before it was all about less food. And I've talked about my history with diets, more cardio. It was all about aerobics, running, and muscle was not for women at that time. Now there is a lot of research that supports how muscle and strength training is so beneficial for so many things health-wise. Apart from looking good, toned, and healthy, there's also a lot of benefits from delaying aging, brain benefits, so many benefits. Muscle is for everyone. And yes, so that's what I want to talk about today. Today is all about muscle and strength training, especially if you are losing weight rapidly, whether with bariatric surgery, medicine, or with a very strict caloric deficit. The amazing thing about strength training and building muscle compared to cardio is that you continue to burn calories and build muscle even after you stopped working out during rest time. That's amazing. Compared to cardio, you only lose the calories in the moment. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because if you're in late 20s, 30s, we were wired to think that if you want to lose weight, you have to do more cardio. You have to go running, go jogging. And that's the mentality that we're sometimes stuck in. As women, sometimes strength training or muscle building seems very intimidating because you automatically think, oh, I don't want to bulk up, if that's not what you want, right? Some people do want to bulk up, and that's amazing because, again, more muscle, more benefits. But to other women who are older than me, maybe 40s and their 50s, and when I talk about strength training, that I'm doing strength training and I try to encourage them to join me, they completely back off and they're like, no, I don't want to bulk up. I don't like that look. I just need to go run or walk more. And that mentality is so dated, and it's been debunked by evidence-based research. Comment below if you were ever terrified that lifting weights was gonna make you bulky, or if you've heard other people talking about being afraid of lifting weights because they think they're gonna bulk up. If you are a woman and you still believe that lifting up a 5-pound is gonna bulk you up, let me break the news to you. That will never happen unless you are in a very specific diet. I'm talking about women that do bodybuilding. They are very strict in their diet. They are lifting heavy, a very specific training schedule. And it takes them years to bulk up really big. If you are afraid of lifting weights because you think you're gonna bulk up, don't let that stop you from lifting some weights. I'm gonna talk about the research. It's so important to lift some weights, to do strength training, especially the older you get. Not only just to lose weight or just to look good, there's way more benefits than that. That's just a bonus, honestly. After you hit 30, women lose from 3 to 5% of muscle every decade, unless you're strength training. That loss in muscle slows down your metabolism. You've probably heard as we grow older, our metabolism slows down or hormones change. Yeah, but there are things that we can do to delay or avoid that. Another side effect of losing muscle is you get tired easily. Your body feels different even if your weight hasn't changed. Is the muscle loss, or you're not conserving or building more muscle. That is the lesson here today. It's not about doing more cardio. That is 90s thinking. We are in 2025. The fix isn't eating less. The answer is lifting more. Muscle is your metabolism. Muscle is your energy, your preservative. Muscle is how we will age well. Another word I want to talk about is toned. After the whole skinny era or skinny language, then it went to toned. What does toned mean? Tone doesn't mean anything. What we really want is muscle. If you have muscle, then you'll have definition. To to actually have the defined muscle look or defined abs, arms. We need to build muscle. More muscle, less fat equals a defined body plus all the benefits. Now, I'm not saying do not do any cardio. Cardio combined with strength training is the answer. Cardio will help with the calorie intake, help you be in the deficit. That's going to make you smaller. And lifting gives you the shape. Lifting will not make you bulky by itself. Please take that out of your mind if that's what you're thinking. I'm gonna tell you right now, it's impossible to get bulky just from strength training. Especially if you're a beginner, there's no way you're gonna get bulky. Like bodybuilders work really hard and train very hard to have that physique and to be very muscly. It takes a lot of work and dedication for them to get there. The way that they lift, eat to be able to maintain that is very strict. Let's rewire our brain. Let's have this open growth mindset. Lifting doesn't make you bigger, it makes you capable. It gives you power and it changes how you see yourself in the mirror. It will start defining your body. Here's the other thing. You can't just lift weights and do cardio and then think that you're automatically gonna build muscle. No. If it was that easy, I would actually have the defined muscle look or defined abs because I've done that forever. No, the important part is the nutrition part along with that. That's why it's really important when we are in a very caloric deficit, which I am right now because I am on medication. I have to work really hard to hit enough calories, protein, for me to not lose muscle. If you're constantly dieting, only eating salads, you're not gonna build muscle. You're just gonna strength train for limited benefits. Comment below if you still diet like the 90s. Research shows that most women do undereat, especially protein. A good example or analogy to think about is if you're under-fueling your body, it's like having a phone on 10% battery and then expecting it to act like it's fully charged. No, it's gonna go on battery reserve and then shut down the more that you use it. That's kind of how our bodies work. We need food, we need fuel. So the research now is showing that we need about 0.7 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight that we want. We need to drink water, eat fiber. That's how we feed our muscle, to be able to preserve it and to let it rebuild. And as it rebuilds, it grows. And as it grows, it's burning off the fat. And that's what we want. That's what I want. I want the fat gone and fill it with muscle. And we have to really switch our brain. Calories are not the enemy. They're like construction materials that will help us build the body that we want. Now let's talk about hormones. As we get older, estrogen and progesterone naturally decline. Cortisol, which is our stress hormone, often goes up. That combination makes it easier to store fat and it's harder to recover. This is where lifting will help us. It reduces cortisol, improves insulin sensitivity, and it protects our bones and it boosts our moods. Muscle is medicine for our body, our mind, our brain, our emotions. How do we start? Start small, especially if you've never lifted before. You can start with your own body weight. Doing the basics, squats, push-ups, lunges. The main thing is to focus on form to avoid any injury. The awesome part about these is that you can do these anywhere. Here's a tip. I love to do these quick workouts right before I shower. I do a quick 5-minute workout in my restroom. I try to aim for every other day in the mornings or at night whenever I'm gonna shower. You can start that way if you don't have a strength training routine. Once you have that down and you have worked on form, then you can start adding dumbbells or resistance bands 2 to 3 times a week. That is doable. Even if you're super busy, because you can do these anywhere. Stop the excuses. For your health, not only to look and feel good, but for so many more benefits. The main thing is to progress slowly, consistently. 2-3 times every single week. You don't want to do it all at once. That could either get you hurt or not sustainable. Start easy, and once it starts feeling like super easy, then you start adding a little bit of weight, more days, and that's how you start increasing more and more. The awesome thing is that muscles grow when we're recovering. So after a workout, days after, your body is still burning calories, it's still growing muscle. That's amazing. If you are a mom, a dad, and you're super busy and you're thinking, I don't even have 10 minutes in between my day, let me give you a few tips. In between your day, you probably have lunch. Even if you have a 30-minute or an hour lunch, you can do 10 to 15 squats. You can start that simple. Not 10 minutes, not 15 minutes. You can just start with 10 to 15 squats. The next day, you can do lunges. The next day, and you just add and add. If your child child has after-school activity, sports, you can do squat kickbacks, standing behind your chair, cheering your child on. If you work in an office, there are a lot of office workouts. Resistant bands, those are portable and you can just take it with you. I like to use those in my office when I'm working. If you have any other creative ideas of how you can add a quick workout in your busy schedule, comment below. It might be helpful for other people as well who have probably a similar job or schedule like you. There are a lot of great ways that we can incorporate movement and strength training. We can get creative in how to add a workout in our day. So it doesn't mean that you need to go to the gym or you need to have a whole hour to work out. Let's shift our mindset. When you actually focus on what your body can do, our bodies are so amazing. Everything changes. You move differently, you stand taller. It's an energy and it's how you show up for yourself every day. Pick up the weights, fuel your body, and build a body that you've always wanted. Don't be afraid of weights or weightlifting. Let's live stronger. Let's live longer. I hope this video was helpful and inspiring you to add some strength training to your weekly routine. And if you haven't yet, subscribe for more real talk and motivation. Subscribe.